went to the other side. And when I
We live?
accepted into the primary, it's not in my primary. So I'm not seeing the message that you just...
Yo, what's the deal? What's the deal? It's the pull up. It's Studio 26, back with a live edition episode. Today we got special guests, Jizzm High Definition and HardMoney in the building.
Live.
Welcome to the podcast, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
It's the all daily whistle. It's Melly Jizzm High Definition.
And it's your boy HardMoney. You know how it is.
Yes, sir. So how you guys feeling today?
Oh man,
We vibing.
very good.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Very good.
Situation.
Word. You guys just hit another podcast, right?
Yeah. Shout out to DJ D Gaff and the Boom Back Mr. G shit.
DJC,
Everybody supports everybody.
Facts.
yeah,
It's a close-knit community.
the family.
Make sure that's pointed in your direction right
Here
there,
we go.
player.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, people.
Facts. That's what Liquid Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope. Shout out to Liquid Crew. Definitely fam.
Boom Bat meets the G shit radio.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's their segment.
Yeah.
That's what's
There
up.
we go.
So real quick, let the people know. Let's start with you, Jizzm. Let the people know if this their first time tuning in with you. Let them know a little bit about you, where you come from, and how you got your start in the game.
All right, my name's Jizzm High Definition. I'm a MC, producer, and I do a gang of other stuff on top of that. But as far as hip hop is concerned, I started in the game when I was 12 years old, busting at backyard house parties.
Okay.
Involved to cutting my first record when I was 16.
Mm.
Doing lowrider car shows with the media. Shout out to MC.
And this is
TNT,
this still as Too Sweet. This is before Jizzm.
Yeah, 12 to 18, I was too sweet.
Okay.
And,
So 12 years old was the first time you started rapping.
Yeah, that I can say officially. I was rapping at backyard house parties.
Dope. So officially, you say when you touch the mic, like in front of people.
Yeah, when I was from 12 on, I was busting.
That's what's up.
I mean, before that, I was still trying to call myself rapping.
Yeah. Rapping Rob.
Yeah, some
Taking
old
them
school.
back.
That's some old school, but from back to the backyard house parties, I hooked up with TNT and they took me on lowrider car show tours.
Okay. Shout outs to TNT.
Yeah.
It's the homie. Yeah. Good dude.
He taught me how to, take my 32 bar, 64 bar raps and chop them down into 16s. And taught me how to freestyle on our trips we used to take out to Fresno.
So you're spitting the 32s and the 64,
64
going
bars.
crazy.
Yeah.
Riding nonstop.
Word.
When the verse was supposed to end.
Yeah.
Just
Rap for the whole.
You know.
Back then it was two who could rap longer almost. Like there was a little bit of that in that back then. Like
Every time you touched the mic, you just had to show everything you had.
go, just
had to
go.
Yeah.
One song, I was doing verses.
Verses. Yeah, open mic style.
I was out there on the verses. I was battling, so the verses were there on the verses.
So where was your first battle taking place? Where do you remember at least your first battle?
Well, I remember my preamble battles were in those 16 eras.
Okay, speak on that. What is that exactly?
Well, the young battles, we used to show up to the backyard house party. There was always somebody in it that had a name for themselves as well.
In another territory.
Yeah. So there was. I remember names of these dudes that used to battle. One of them was Knockout.
Okay.
This dude Knockout, and another one was I did battle our boy from Mr. Grimm, Roger.
Oh shit. Indo Smoke?
Oh.
Wait. Mr. Grimm Indo Smoke?
Yeah, Indo
Mr.
Smoke.
Hey, whatever you gonna do, young brother, you bet not choke. Hey, that shit. So you beat Mr. Grimm in the battle.
Yeah, at the Hive.
Yeah.
Outside the Hive.
Outside the hive? Okay.
I lost a battle
Okay.
to Will and X.
Which became Will I Am?
Years old. Will I Am.
Is that who they? Yeah. Hey, Will I Am.
Oh, yeah.
People don't know he was really a killer out here.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they see the pop shit and they see
they don't
the.
know about that back
They
then.
don't know.
They don't know about that. Back then.
The lyrics is,
Man.
Yeah.
you
Yeah, he's playing the game. Yeah, he's playing the game. He knows what he's doing. He's a genius in his own right,
You
bro.
see it
He's
now.
yeah.
He's driving cars that play music and while they're turning corners. And,
Driving
go look at the
computer
video.
cars
Yeah,
and
it's sick. It's correct.
go gadget mobile.
Also battled Gundy Williams and this dude Jizzm. We used to show up at this place called the Masonic Temple, West Covina.
Okay.
Soul Brothers used to show up and bust and dance. I actually just linked up with we love from the Soul Brothers. But I used to
So for those who don't know, who are the Soul Brothers?
Soul Brothers were the dope dancers from the West Coast
Mm-hmm.
that were
For
known
Def
on,
Jam.
on MTV, you know, for
Yep.
dancing for Def Jeff. Def Jeff is from New York, but these dudes are from LA and they connected and these dudes were just like hella skillful.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. So speaking on dancers, Jason Sensation. He was one of the dancers in the music video we did, Don't Stop Go.
Word.
He ended up becoming Madonna's dancer.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, shout outs to Jason Sensation.
Small
We put him in
world.
his first video ever. That was the first. Found him on on the 3rd Street Promenade.
Yeah,
Wow.
They were just breakers breaking for some bread on
You
the.
have an eye for talent.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
you're out there doing backflips and front flips and that's
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
who represented the video.
yeah. They came through 2 video shoots, 2 locations for us, and did their thing. Yeah, it was dope. So let's get back to the battling. So did the battling lead you to Project Blow?
Ultimately, yes. So from doing battles, and I was actually an undefeated battle champion at Pomona at this place called 3B Records.
Okay.
I was winning
At the mall,
$200
Indian Hill
in the
Mall.
Indian Hill Swap
Yeah,
Meet.
Swap Meet. Yeah, at the Indian Hill Swap Meet. Yep.
Yeah, I was
It was
winning
across the street from Swap. I remember that little record
And then
joint.
1 month I didn't go, my homie won. I went the month after and took my title back. But
Nice.
Pretty much winning mostly because of the freestyle battles, just clowning.
Yeah,
Freestyle.
you always been top notch with the freestyles.
But when I was my first job was working at a record store. I was at Johnny's Records
Okay.
in La Puente, and while I was working at the record store, we used to get this free magazine called Herb Magazine.
Okay, I remember the herb.
I would read through it on the regular, but I read through it and I read about this open mic called the Good Life Cafe.
Predates Project Blow.
So when I read into it, they were saying like, that if you're an MC,
That's where you gotta be.
MC from LA, unless you go to this place.
Talk about it.
And they broke down about how there was so much skill.
The history.
style, and I was like,
So speak on the history a little bit for those who don't know or maybe haven't seen the film by Ava DuVernay. Break it down a little bit. What the vibe was. Put the people who've never seen the documentary nor never been or attended. Put them in the visual.
It was like Showtime with the Apollo.
Oh,
The
okay.
Black Cafe. I mean, when I read into it, it was like Showtime with the Apollo.
The hood
crowd
version.
was Mikey, who was the hood version. The crowd would boo you up. Mr. Sandman would take you off the stage, but the way they did it, it was, they would chant, "Please pass the mic." And it would get louder and louder. Please pass the mic. And people would be dancing and clowning. It got louder. You got kicked off the stage.
So-
Or if you leaned up against the pane.
Yeah.
So give people the setting. Where is this located at?
So the Good Life Cafe was on the corner of
Exposition
Exposition
to
and Crenshaw.
Crenshaw.
Okay.
It was a health food center. People were up in there chewing on what was it called?
Those sticks.
Yeah.
It was like
It was
I forgot what it was called, but it was like little sticks of tree bark or whatever.
when you walk
But it would be good for your
The
breath.
lemongrass
It'd be
and all
good
that.
for your- yeah, it'd be good for your breath.
You would pay your money. You would pay $3 to get into the spot, and you would pay V Hall, which is the mother of R. King Blaze, who's the actual dude that was throwing
Running
the
it.
together. And then if you signed the list, you didn't have to pay. So yeah, if you're on the list and you're gonna bless you, you didn't have to pay. So and then at the time there wasn't really that many Mexicans, or there was no whites.
Yeah. So again, so people who have never been on Crenshaw or Exposition don't know exactly what that means. I know they heard of Crenshaw, but give them the overall basis of
It was just it was hood and hard.
it's hood. It's South Central.
Yeah.
South Central.
You know,
in the real days of
right
South
there.
Central.
Yes,
What I would say
definitely.
is when I from seeing on my first day I seen CVE rock.
Shout outs to Chillin' Villain Empire,
Yeah, there you
fellow Venice
Over.
Venetians.
There you go.
We all from Venice.
Yeah, I seen Jay Smooth kill a song called I Can't Find My Zigzag. Like he murdered it.
That's crazy. So you still remember the songs performed.
no, exactly.
I brought my VHS recorder and I recorded the first time I was there.
Wow.
I session. I got the East Side
You
Baptist
still have
there.
that footage?
Yeah, actually.
That's
some-
fire.
Some of it's up on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't checked that out, go check that out.
Pretty interesting.
Jizzm High Definitions page on YouTube. That's classic history.
Yeah. So yeah, that was actually my first time there. I actually caught it on tape.
So did you rap your first time there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
So how'd that
was
go?
up to the stage and they announced us as the niggas from West Covina.
And a Mexican dude walked up.
He got a Mexican dude walk out.
And it was you and TNT?
No, it was actually me, Jinx, and Sleigh Ride.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was, I was like, man, that's a word I can't use, and I don't use it, but that's the way they announced it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's what's up. That's
I went up there and
funny.
rocked and nobody booed me, so I got through my first day.
Ah.
So after that, I went home and wrote my rhymes. I was actually writing rhymes sometimes the day before, memorizing and showing up every Thursday, busting new stuff. I remember it was crazy back then, yo.
You was younger, yeah.
There was a.
Practice it.
Would you say there was a thing about coming there with new rhymes, or would recycled rhymes be looked down upon?
No, I mean people did songs
That became
yeah,
anthems.
so there were songs that people would be able to sing along with.
Yeah.
Familiar with.
But as far as like the rapping version,
You didn't have to do something new, but
Mm-hmm.
if you did something new,
it was
fire.
respected.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so I
what's
always
up.
come with
Some
different
fresh
beats, my
stuff.
own beats. They already have theirs, but I like to bust out with my own.
So were you always making beats?
No, I was my beats back. I was a producer back then.
Okay.
I was an MC. So I was showing up with beats produced by ODM. Since you mentioned his name.
Wow, Robert.
From Lighter Shade of Brown.
Robert.
Mm.
Shout out. Shout out his family.
I actually had a
Yeah,
song
on a
called
Sunday
Reject.
afternoon.
I performed that song, and on the hook it was reject, eject, yo tape, out the deck, and I had the whole crowd doing that with me.
Word.
off of His beat, and that was one of those memorable nights. But I was telling the story earlier that there was a night that there was this movie called Sugar Hill.
Yeah, of course. Amazing movie. One of my
So-
favorites.
so-
Wesley Snipes.
I don't know who shot. Was it John Singleton or I don't know. Anyhow,
yeah.
the dude that produced the movie was there with shirts.
Oh,
and
wow.
hats, and they say we're gonna give out these hats only to the blow-ups, and they had like maybe 4 of them, right?
What's that mean, the blow ups?
If you blew up, they're gonna give you a hat.
So if the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah, the crowd, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went up there, I did mine.
Uh-huh.
I got enough hype from the crowd, and they gave me that.
So you were one of the top 4.
Yeah.
Do you still have that hat?
No, but
Bro,
I'll tell you
that would
what,
be
this is the
crazy.
funniest thing. I was so happy to get that hat from '93 to '94. Every time I would show up on the third night,
He's rocking that hat.
I had sweat all up in the grill.
Yeah.
I
Still rocking
hell
it.
out of that hat every Thursday just
That's
because
what's
that was
up.
my little-
Yeah, like I was one of the top 4.
You know,
Uh-huh.
like, you don't have this.
Yeah.
You don't have this.
You know?
Do you remember who else got the hat?
I don't remember who
No.
else got the hat.
Word.
Remember, so
Good question.
Right, we gotta dig out this history, bro. People gotta know.
So rocking inside was one thing because it was only from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah,
It was the ciphers outside
that were the deadly.
Yeah, yeah.
So going inside and doing that one song was
Yeah. That wasn't the
The
adrenaline.
other half is what was all these ciphers outside.
If you
and all
could
the
survive.
Yeah.
styles outside,
So-
crazier than the inside.
So break down for people that don't know who was in attendance at these events. Break down some history and let people know who are some of these artists that were spitting at these events.
Okay, so I wasn't there the night that Fat Joe was there. So I'm not-
Okay, so Fat Joe was there.
But he was one. He was there.
Okay.
So, but beyond that, there was members from the Far Side,
Mm.
entire crew members from the Freestyle Fellowship were there all on different nights.
Yep.
It was CVE, which is Fish, Red Lord, Trey
Reckless.
Lowe. Yeah, Reckless was Hip Hop Clan with Rifleman, and
Pterodactyl.
Eastside Bastard,
Ahmad would
The
be
Good
there.
Life, Ahmad from the Fourth Avenue, Jones, Skilo.
Skilo.
Yeah.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a
People
baller.
don't
I
know
wish
he was
I
a
had a.
lyricist though.
Yeah,
Lyricist
facts.
too.
That hit. That hit.
Yeah. He just went commercial with that. But he was
With
a
that
lyricist.
hit.
He was.
Uh-huh.
He took off to another.
Yeah.
Exhibit was AWOL.
Yeah.
Cholo on Cinco and
Tumex.
Volume.
Of Mexican descent.
I knew Tumex already.
Volume 10.
What?
Volume 10,
Pistol grip.
Volume
Pump
10,
on my lap at all
Cisco
time.
Pavilion,
Yeah.
Rafi and the Tunnel Rats. were
The
there for
tunnel.
Good Life.
Hey, shout outs to the Tunnel
Shout
Rats.
out to the
Yeah.
Tunnel Rat crew. Who else
Yeah.
was there?
This is just good luck though, because then you
The
go
Project Blowed.
Project Blow, and
Born
that's-
Alive, was
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah.
Actually, had Born Alive on tape. Not knowing it was him.
Crazy.
But
Shout outs to Born Allah.
yeah, the
But
list.
that's the extension. The extension family was the Blow.
Yeah.
That's where you get the other MCs like Merce and all them. Were
Yeah, Living Legends.
Ahmad,
Ja
back in the
Aura
day,
and
son,
all these
that
other
cassette,
MCs.
Ahmad gave me that cassette, like before it was released.
Back in the day.
There at the Good Life, I had that cassette in my car on repeat. Like I was so proud of that. Yo, not only do I
Back
love
in the
song,
day when I was
but
young,
know
I'm
the
not a
artist
kid
that
anymore.
spit it.
You know,
You DJ'd for him a few times.
Well, luckily, honored after right around the time that after they did that and the one hit it. I'm also a fan of Razzcast,
Mm-hmm.
Ahmad and Saphir, the whole crew.
The Hobo Junction.
Hobo Junction.
Yep.
Love
Hobo Junction versus Hyro.
Hieroglyphic crew, man. I love them dudes. Them dudes are ill.
Yeah, Casual, Crave, Fear Itself.
Yeah,
That was
That
a
little
crazy
So I
album.
was honored to be able to get a song in with Ahmad when I did that show Respect Your album. Probably like fast forwarded into that, but
You've done a lot of songs with a lot of dope people.
yeah. But I actually produced that. That was like one of the.
You got to produce and rap.
I produced my first album in a matter of 3 months. We did a 12-inch single that had Mystic Journeyman, Otherwise, LMNO, Michael Myers, and then in a matter of 5 months, the whole album was done. AC Alone and Abstract Root had the B-boy Real McCoy.
Mhm.
One, I think, did one of the first songs on the album. So we had Pigeon John do Sealed Fate, which also was put on his Pigeon John's Clueless album. It was also
Nice.
on 12-inch.
Nice.
As a matter of fact, I went to one of the shows and they were saying like, "Do Sealed Fate."
So I remember always getting CDs from underground people. Didn't matter who it was, whether it be Shapeshifters or whether it be Infinite Potential and all these dudes. And you know how it was back in those days before the internet, before your research was read all the credits, read all that.
Yep.
I always saw Mastered by Jizzm High Definition on everybody's album. Like Mastered by Jizzm High Definition. I was like, who the hell is this dude that's doing everybody? Or it'll be produced by Jizzm High Definition. Who the hell is this dude that's doing all this work?
Mastering was 1998. I took that on, and
Yeah, you went crazy.
I needed the CD version, and it ended up being at least this mastering unit. So I learned how to master, and then I ended up mastering a couple of albums for the people AWOL's album and
Tash.
album. And not on that unit, but I was saying when
Oh, when you got it.
mastered,
Yeah.
I was able to
That's one of my favorite ones that
you
you mastered that stayed in my album, stayed in my CD player.
Reading and learning and taking courses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mastered Tasha's Control Freak LP. I mastered B Real's Audio Hustlers.
Fire.
I mastered the Gang Out.
I know.
Over a couple hundred,
That's
But it all
crazy.
started from buying a CD burner and me wanting just to be able to burn CDs, but it was a mastering unit. And then I learned how to master from there, and then it evolved into getting iller and iller. And on the Show Respect Here album, I learned stuff from this dude named Robert Brambilla. He was the district manager for, shout out to Robert Brambilla, he was the district manager for Guitar Center. He had a studio in Montebello, and he was actually showing me how to his version of mastering. And I took what I learned from him and what I was already doing with the Master Link, and got better, and ended up using like T-Rex and Isotope Ozone, and started putting all these different tools together with the Waves Mercury bundle, and ended up getting a really good sound. That
Getting
was
your
keeping
sauce.
people happy.
Yeah.
It kept the business coming in. Because consistently.
Dope.
Yep.
Dope.
Yep. Including LA Symphony, I mastered the group's album and their solo albums in between. The list
Dope.
goes on and on.
Yeah, shout outs to Cookbook and Una Mas. Those are my guys.
But I was an MC first and foremost. I was honored to have production from Evidence to do tracks on the Illosophic album, and a gang of other dope producers. I didn't do any of the beats on Illosophic.
On the first.
Yeah, Illosophic Volume 1 or 1.5. It was all produced by everybody. Omi from Beneath the Surface produced joints on there. We did that song, Farmer's Market, up Beneath the Surface.
Classic.
And, when I bought the Beat Machine, I did that Show Respect Here album. Then I started producing like 3 or 4 of my tracks, but I still preferred to work with other producers because as an MC, I prefer to bust over beats that I can feel and hear and not see as a construction.
Mm-hmm.
Beats, I see them as like a mathematical equation, and it's totally different from being able to hear something, feel something, and wanting to run with it.
Word.
Brings us to HardMoney.
Exactly.
So, HardMoney, I met him way back, I want to say in the early 90s.
That was like 93, 4. It was like,
Yep. And he was connected with Prime Yella, who was another homie that I knew from 91, and Spartacus, who we all used to kick it with. And so he was like, I would say in between. Prime was the connect, and then there's this girl that used to help out with Illosophic named Little Mommy. And he was connected with Little Mommy, and she had this hip-hop hotline that people would call up and basically find out what clubs are going on.
Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy. So I remember that. Yeah, no, you would call and it would tell you where you would pick your show you wanted to see. It'll give you directions on how to get there. Bro, I based my whole system off of her because I used to even just try to get my stuff on there. But like I based when I did my like first, way back then, my first show, and you had to call in to get directions because there was no Google Maps and all that.
Yeah, and she would do it all.
Yeah, so I did what she did, and I did the same thing. So everyone could go. If you're coming from LA, if you're coming from Orange County, if you're coming from, and I followed her whole system to do my first shows until, of course, technology caught up. And
she would literally have you press 2. And
and you could go to the show and I used to run my promo.
She ended up becoming...
Yeah, I would run half of my promo calendars on where I was going to promote off of her and off of Mike Nardone. Shout outs to We Came From Beyond.
Shout out.
Speaking of We Came From Beyond, me and you were the last people ever interviewed on the We Came From Beyond show. The last show, we were the last interview.
It just happened.
Yeah, I did that.
Jizzm in the conclusion.
I did that show.
Separately.
So, yeah, and we got songs together and we were dropping the video.
Hey, you guys were just both there.
So yeah, Mike was my guy, and when I heard he was, gonna be closing down the show, I was like, "Yo, bro, I gotta slide through." Like I was waiting because I wanted to do it with an album drop.
Yeah.
But when he was going down, like I grew up listening to it. I used to win my tickets to go promote my shows from there. I had a team of street teamers, and we would sit in the room, roll up. Everyone would be burning, and we'll be like waiting for him to give away tickets. And when he gave away tickets, we all would call, have like 8-10 of us all call in, make sure we get the tickets. And every show we would go hit them all and promote. And that's how we would cut down our cost of promo so that we could maximize the situations.
Oh, man.
Feel me? Yeah, mastermind shit.
This man from...
Bro, since the yay high.
Man.
But I took notes of just a lot of people, even your homegirl. Like I don't even remember her name, but I know that once you said it, bruh, Little Mom, bro, I learned game from her because she set a whole wave, and I was like, okay, peak game.
I think it was called.
Yeah, 24-hour liquor mart.
Bro,
She was from New York or not, but she had like
She was from the Bronx.
that was so dope. Like that's so dope that you guys know her because I literally based my first
Becoming my girlfriend.
system off of her. That's crazy.
Yeah,
So let's get into your story before we go, because I know we still got a whole lot, but this is where you guys are catching up. So let's get into your story, your origin story, where you started, where you come from, and we'll lead up.
Man, DJing on component sets at 15 years old. In
Okay.
the room with the turntable at the bottom.
Belt driven or
Belt-driven
magnetic?
turntable at the
Okay.
bottom, and
Uh-huh.
making mixtapes, pause.
Do you remember what turntable? Or at
I
least the
think it was probably
brand?
like a Quasar or
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it had the turntable pull out at the bottom. You hit push the button, zzz,
Yeah.
scratch on it. And
Messing up the
I used
needles.
to make pause mixes with it. It had the two cassette decks, so you would tape the Friday night mix, and then all Friday night sit there and just make a pause mix of the mix, and then Saturday sit there with your boys and
So for people that
battle
don't
the
know what a
pause mix.
pause mix means.
You have two cassette decks,
Uh-huh.
and you're playing one, so you play the scratch, and then you're recording that, and then once you get to a certain point, you'll pause, you'd rewind it, or you'd rewind it to a certain point, or rewind it back to the beginning, or however
Where you had your
however you would
setup.
like to set it up, and then you would have to hit play and take off pause at the same time, so you record that little bit, and you'd stop, and you'd rewind, and you'd set it up again, and it would be meticulous, and you would sit there all night
Trying to get
do a
it.
60-minute tape. But then, man, it would be better than what they would put on the radio.
And-
so you would bring that to your boys, and
Yeah.
just heard it because it's you.
And you would be the man with the
With
mixtape.
that mix, it's heard, but they've heard a variation of it.
Yeah, yeah, but not that.
Yeah.
What you created.
Exactly.
And so that's how you got your start.
That was the essence of me. I want
Getting into
I want
hip-hop.
to do something with this.
Yeah. Word.
And then I was out in the IE. I was living out there. I was from out here, but then I got kicked out of schools out here and went out to the IE and started going to schools out there. And I met up with this MC, and we ended up getting a group together, and that's how we met Prime and Spartacus. We did a contest. There was an R&B singer out in the IE called General King. And he had a contest at his house. And he was like, the winners, it was just the one winner, I'm gonna give him a deal. I'm gonna record their songs, give them some shows and all that shit. Well, our group and Prime's group, we both tied. So they let us both win. So we just met these dudes, and then we just got really close. And then because we used to always go to the house and record together. And then General Kane ended up giving me my first show with that group.
What were the names of these groups?
I forgot Prime and Spark. I think it was just, was it Prime and Spartacus? Spartacus and Prime? I think that was just their,
Spider Dread?
no, it wasn't, he wasn't that yet. He was just Spartacus at the time. It was just Spartacus and Primula.
Got you. Okay.
And no, it was Spartacus and Prime. He wasn't Primula yet. It was Spartacus and Prime. And I think they just had their name. And then our group was called KRT, Co-Running Things.
Okay.
And it was me, my boy Shay, and my boy Shorty was in our group. It was
Word.
a three-man group. Shorty was just like the little hype man. And Shay was the MC, and I was the the producer and the DJ.
Got you.
And then so our first show was at the Dienza Theater in Riverside. We opened for Babyface and the Deal with what's her name? They used to run with them. I forgot her fucking name, but she was opening, and we came in. He got us to open for her, so we were the first openers out there. That was my first show. And then I kind of left that whole situation, went to the streets, got into some stupid stuff, ended up going to jail. And I'm in jail, and this fool's running his mouth. And he's like, hey, man, I know this guy that produces Tone Loc and Young MC. And I was over there. I said, yo, call him. And he said, man, I ain't it. I said, man, I'm a producer, man, call him. So he called him. It was Cool Dre. And if you don't, Cool Dre is like one of the OGs from out here. First man to bring Rakim out to the West Coast.
Wow.
First promoter to bring Rakim out to the West. But he's one of the producers that came through with Dre, with all of the big producers back then. And so I jumped on the phone. He was like, come through. When you get out, come through. So I came through. I played him some of my music, and he said, I can hear what you're doing, doesn't sound good, but I can hear you. You know how to do something. Took me in a room and said, here's a sampler. It was an MPC 62. Here's a sampler. This is how you sample. This is how you make a sequence. Walked out the room. I sat up there, made a song. He came back in. He was like, all right, come back by tomorrow. And it just snowballed from there. He had me in the studio with Tracy and Courtney from Total Track Productions that was doing DJ Quick stuff, TDP, that was doing DJ Quick stuff back then. And then I did a bunch of songs for them, but then nothing ever came about as far as fun, so I had to break off. And I moved back out to LA, and that's when I hooked up with Wild West Records. And that was the first record company that was independently signed to Priority Records.
So who was on this record label?
Big Lady K was their first artist that they released, and Micah was the DJ. Big Lady K, but in the crew it was Peace was in the crew.
Peace from Freestyle Fellowship.
Peace was in the crew,
Okay.
and ODM was in the crew. And then I know we had these three guys that had a group. I forgot the name of the group, but they broke them up, and then two of them, me and them got really close. One was Kid K, one was Rock G. They had a group called Two Down. And then what ended up happening was we're doing videos with ODM was by himself, Peace was doing videos and everything. I'm filming videos, we doing music and all this stuff. And then these other two guys, they wanted to break off and start doing their own stuff. So I'm doing music for them. I start DJing for them. And then they get a deal with the IRS Records, but then they took my music and gave it to some other producers and ended up
Stole your credit?
Yeah, they ended up taking off with it. Next thing I know, I'm calling them. They're not answering. And I'm hearing Two Down on the radio with this new song produced by Respect Jammin' James. That's my boy from back then. And next thing, they gone. So Kid K ended up working in the mail room at Priority, and he became the head A&R at Priority. And if it wasn't for Kid K, the South wouldn't be what it is at this point. It might be, but it wouldn't have come the way that it did.
Yeah.
Because Kid K was the one that went to Brian Turner. His name was Kevin Feist. Let me say his name. He went to Brian Turner. He said, "Hey, I pulled this music out of the mailroom. Hey, nobody's feeling this, but I'm feeling this. You guys need to get on this." It was Master P.
Wow. So
That was the reason Master P
got No
the
Limit
card.
the deal.
He got No Limit the deal, and then he became the number
crazy.
one A&R at Priority because of that.
Wow.
And then went on
Master
when Priority
P.
folded into Capitol, became the head A&R at Capitol. Was the number one A&R at Capitol.
Yeah, Master P for sure to me led the wave for the South,
Yeah.
like what it went.
The way it went, the bounce and all that. I mean,
Everything.
shout out to Luke.
Even
Shout out to
album
Luke.
cover.
Don't
Uncle
I'm not
Luke.
gonna take it from Luke.
Oh yeah, but it was a different.
but-
He was pushing like that porno core.
Yeah, no, he was pushing that music, that Sally, that girl, that faster stuff, and
the Miami
porn
bounce,
stuff and everything, but the Miami bounce. He was that bounce stuff, the Pretty Tony and all bounce stuff.
Yeah.
But you had Master P was doing that street.
Made crack like this.
Yeah.
Ghetto dope.
And so he saw that. Kevin saw that. And then Gordon went off to be a manager. He managed Rock G. He went off to be a manager, and he managed Matchbox 20, Terrence Trent D'Arby, and all these other people.
Dope.
And everything.
And
So-
Master P is another one of them people that I studied to get the business and just the way that he put his team and arranged it and made you want to collect albums. You know what I mean? The way he had all the what's coming, and it was like 30 of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, yo, we got two
Exactly.
albums coming. It was
Exactly.
like 30. You were like, damn.
And
This
everything was new down to the graphics. Remember
And the graphics
for
had
the
its
Master
own
P
wave.
albums that you know
Yeah.
that nobody
That
had other
shiny
than
bling.
his team, you know, and all that. And you know, it was almost like computerized graphics before
Yeah.
people were doing
Was
computerized
really on it.
graphics. You
Yeah.
know, so he was paving the way for a lot of different things.
Yeah,
you know, not
mixtapes
just
all took
South
that
music.
look. Everything
Yeah.
took that look for a long
Exactly.
time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
let's keep going to
and then then I started doing music in my room after that. I got this is when I started beating all these guys,
Mm-hmm.
Project Blow. This is like 94.
so
He
what
was in the room with an MPC.
Yeah, and I had
You know, some really dope boom bap type New York type beats.
and in my room you would have
his,
it.
his sound was like a New York sound. I mean, not only that,
Yeah.
he also was matching up the acapellas from Nas.
other songs and throwing them on. So who are your inspirations if you're saying that he has
Well,
like
because
New York
I'm,
sound?
I'm half Puerto Rican. I got
Okay.
family all back in New York. I've been going to New York ever since a child. You know, spent time out there and everything. So that's why my influences are that way. And the music, I would say, Premier, Pete Rock, you know, but the reason I sound the way that I do, I would have to give it up to Mantronics.
Okay.
I'd have to give it
Yeah,
up to
that's dope.
Sedgy,
Oh
Mo
ho,
Love,
ultramagnetic.
Sedgy, Mo
Talk
Love.
about
That
it.
was
Talk
that was
about it.
when
Said G
that
doesn't get enough
dropped
props.
when that
Shout outs to
album
Said
dropped.
and Mo
Ultra Mag,
Love.
okay,
And
they're the
TR
first
Love.
to use MPCs.
And he was
on an
doing
album.
all the samples that everybody kept using after him.
The originator of all that stuff and everything. When that album dropped, I couldn't. I lost my mind. You know,
Which one?
the first Critical Beat.
The critical beat down.
I lost my mind.
Watch
Just
out
every,
now.
Every song on that album, from Funky to everything, was
Everything.
Just, I was like, man, what is this?
Yeah.
This. Because
Yeah.
I was already listening to Mantronics. I was already. My thing
Yeah.
was Cole getting dumb.
Okay.
Cole getting you know, the way that he was putting those sounds in.
Yeah.
I was like,
It was like
yo,
electronically sounding. That
this is
whole,
not a guitar, this is not a piano, but this sounds crazy. And that's
Yeah.
why I use sounds to this day. I don't
Yeah.
I have songs with pianos, don't get me wrong, but I always have some crazy sounds because of Mantronics, Said
background.
G, you know, Mo Love. Shout out to even when I met him, this man connected me with Broadway. And when I met him and I sat down with him, I was like, you don't even understand some of your early albums. That Madcap album was on
Madcap is
rotate.
fire.
Rotate.
Bro.
The whole
That's
Kitty
one.
Caboodle.
That's one of them slept on. That's one of them.
Rotate. Go look it
yeah.
up. Go
Bro,
look it
like
up if you don't know
Madcap,
about
like
it.
Quest the Mad Lad, Curious George. Like that was an era of
Yeah.
fire stuff that
Yeah.
kind of went under the
Yeah.
radar.
Lineberg,
Yeah.
Ironworks.
I'm telling you. And then they had the colored section that bounced off from that. That they had the Bomb MC song. Oh my God! Like Coke and them, they were doing it. You know, up there, and Broadway was doing it with them. So shouts out.
He was like, man, you're gonna roll to the studio. I'm gonna introduce you to Broadway. He said, Broadway, he's one of the producers who's down with the Alcoholics. He did some work with the Alcoholics. He's about to give me the beat. Mr. Too Bad, it was, you know, Fat Jack. Mr. Too Bad and Fat Jack were you know, hand in hand.
Just shout out Fat Jack.
But, you know, he was excited to go meet Broadway and to introduce me to Broadway. That's the first time I remember meeting him. I was introduced to Broadway as one of the producers that got down with the Alcoholics and also Madcap, who already had a record.
And are extraordinaire. Like don't
Yeah,
DJ
layers
producer,
to it.
but let's not even and are extraordinaire everything. Just
That's what's
but yeah. So back in the days, in my room you probably have like I said, Ja Oro would be in my room writing rhymes and doing songs. Cram Nevis being there. Shouts out to
Yeah, Cram Nevis,
Cram.
Mark 7.
I wrote. I did the whole first album. That was me. That was me on the
Crazy.
beats and my record label.
So it's funny because
For
like
Cram
Cram Nevis is so underground, right? Like
Yeah.
so
The Bizarro
underground.
Theory. That was my whole album.
Fire.
That was my album. That was my beats.
Is
Mark 7.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
because Mark 7 was inside Jurassic 5. They came out. He became Mark 7 because they came out. They had a song released.
Yeah.
So he couldn't be Mark 7 no more.
So
So
he
he
flipped
flipped it backwards.
So
And that's why he did the Bizarro Theory, because it was Superman backwards. That was why it was called the Bizarro Theory, because it was Cram Nevis. He had to flip it backwards like Bizarro
Got you.
and Superman.
Fire.
Yeah.
So his name used to always stick out to me on We Came From Beyond.
Yeah.
But he's also one of them people that you couldn't get his album anywhere.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I was everywhere. I was at
Exactly.
Rhino Records, Aaron Records, little shops like what were the Record Supply. Oh, that's still there actually. The Record Supply on Pico.
Yeah, I used to go there all the time upstairs. I bet 99's 3 for 99.
Yeah.
Upstairs. That was my joint. That was where I used to get all my music from.
Man,
And
there
then
was
the jazz section downstairs. And
what was the one over there on Pico? Midnight Records.
yeah,
I used to be everywhere at all the record shops, and man, like I could never find Cram Nevis.
yeah.
I would always be looking like, who is this guy?
Because we would sit in my
where
room
is
and burn the tapes and get it to people, but that was
By
the only
hand.
way back then. We
Yeah,
would do
out
it
the
all
trunk.
by hand. And so, like, Cram was in there. We did the whole album in there. Komet would be in there. Dr. Oop would be in there all the time.
Shout outs to Dr. Oop.
Antag would be in there all the time.
Otherwise, you just like.
Otherwise, Zig, ESP, Merce wrote his first rhyme sitting on my bed.
That's crazy.
Like things like
That's
he
crazy.
came to me one day at one of the powerhouses backstage and was like, bro, D-Tech, do you know? Because my name used to be D-Tech back then. And he's like, D-Tech, do you know? I wrote my first rhyme sitting on your bed.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And then Ja Ora called me like a month ago. Was like, bro, do you understand? You taught me what a 16 bar is.
That's
Sitting in
crazy.
your room, putting together music.
And for people that don't know, Murs got signed to Tech Nine. Like,
Yeah.
running whole festivals,
He had
doing
he had a
big
show on
numbers,
MTV
and
everything.
like crazy,
Yeah,
on
he
crazy.
just went
So
big. And Ja went off to be in X Clan. Ja Ora was a member of X Clan. After
Wow.
he left. Yeah.
I didn't
He
even
went
know
off.
that.
Yeah.
And I know Ja from being out here, so
Yeah.
it's like the Project Blowed scene, everything. I didn't know that he was from X Clan.
So he,
One of his first recordings on my album. Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained with Ja Ora. I can say the same thing with Otherwise. We had a song called Warriors,
Yep.
one of Otherwise's first recordings as an MC.
And for those who don't know, otherwise is known for or should be known for.
Well, Otherwise is known for being a dope MC and a battle.
oh man.
Battle MC. So, yeah, I produced the whole album for Otherwise. But it's famous that in 1997,
There we go.
Otherwise battled Eminem.
Eminem.
The Rap Olympics.
Yep.
Won the battle against
Mhm.
Eminem. And that is that moment that Eminem got discovered by an A&R from Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Brought him to Dr. Dre the next day, and it was history after that. On
Yeah.
that Sunday, after he met Dr. Dre, Eminem went into the studio with DJ Drez and dropped a verse on a record that we came out with in 1997 with Dr. Easy. We did the Cool Fantastic. Eminem had a song with Anonymous, which is that Eminem was, that Drez was DJing for, and it was produced. I forgot the dude's name. That was the producer, but they were real cool dudes. Yeah, they were the Venice Click.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Drez. I used to run into him on his skateboard over in Venice Beach all the time.
Yeah, we had
Cool
a
dude.
song called Cool Fantastic with me, Medusa, Nico, who ended up becoming Drez's wife, AWOL1, and E-Rule.
Yeah, E-Rule would be over at my
Legendary
house.
E-Rule.
Like Styles would be on, would be over at the house. Visionaries be over at the house recording.
Dope.
So I used to have all that going and jump from doing that to I started DJing for the Filthy Immigrants. And then we were blowing up all over LA. We did an album with Tommy Lee, the first Methods of Mayhem album. That album has like Snoop Dogg, Lil Kim, Chemical Brothers, Fred Durst, and the Filthy Immigrants. You know,
Yeah.
that album.
Crazy.
Seen that
Yeah.
the other night.
I remember going to a show. I believe it was Cool Keith,
Guru and
and
us.
Filthy Immigrants.
Because that was our tour. We see what we did back then. We went on a bunch of tours, right? With Mac 10, all these different groups.
Yeah.
And then what we learned, we saw the attraction of all this stuff. So what we did, we came back. We put together our own tour. It was called the Join the Movement tour. It was the Filthy Immigrants Join the Movement tour.
Shout outs
But-
to Dutch.
Shout
Shout outs to Riff.
Dutch, Riff, Filthy.
Shout
you
outs
know,
to
that's
Filthy.
all family. That's
Filthy
all family. I was just
got
with family.
the
That was-
weed company
That was
going
why
on.
we were Lavender Boys. I'm learning right now. This
Yeah,
is
I'd be running
represent.
into them at all the festivals and
Represent,
everything.
you know, I got
Facts.
this is my fam. You know,
That's
I was
what's
just
up.
with them earlier tonight, just right
Okay.
before this. We were
Word.
at his joint.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all got together. We used to have that album. We were signed to Tommy. Did the whole album. The album went gold. We toured the nation with Tommy and everything. Crazy tours and all
Dope.
that stuff.
Yeah, I was working merch for Cool Keith up at that.
And then,
at
back
that
to that
show.
tour. We did that tour, but when we did that tour, we said we can headline a tour. We can make a tour, a headline, and have Guru, Cool Keith there. But we were like, nah, why don't we have them headline? It'll bring more people in. We can make more money with the whole thing. So
And just run the
we
play
did
the
a
smart
we did a
way.
regional all the way to the Mist, back, West Regional, and they headlined and we did all these cities and everything. What we did is one city Guru would headline, next city Cool Keith would headline, next city Guru, next city Keith.
Yeah.
We did it like that,
That was
all the way
dope.
through the tour.
Yeah. I got to link with Guru because Cutmaster Kurt was my guy. That was like I was still building my relationship with Keith. Now me and Keith that's my guy. I got like, I don't know, probably 7 unreleased songs with Keith.
Yeah.
But Cutmaster Kurt, like I was
Yeah.
really, 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 really cool with Kurt. So I'd roll around with him everywhere. I was young. I was still DJing and rapping. So I was learning from him. And I used to do a lot of stuff with him. I would go do record stuff, like when all the record companies would link at the little Temple Bar. I would be there with him as a representative for Threshold Records and
Yeah.
roll with him.
For some reason, that's
You won't. It's only 11:50, man. It's all
Roll
good.
with him.
It's all good. Yeah, that's a big street. You ain't gonna get to me.
Roll with him to to all the different venues with Keith and stuff like that, little tapings, TV stuff. And that was one of those ones. And he was like, yo, you think you can help me with the merch table? I was like, yeah, for sure, I got you, bro. So I was at the merch table the whole time watching you guys perform. That was a dope show.
Yeah,
that was a
thank you,
dope
thank
show. Packed
Yeah.
house.
Yeah,
You
got
guys
to
rocked
every night.
it. Everybody rocked it.
We were at the House of Blues, weren't we?
Yeah,
Right?
House of
that-
Blues.
I mean, we had big venues. We
Yeah,
didn't-
that
we-
was
we put
that was
together
when the
our
House of
own-
Blues was the House of Blues.
Well, we were the house band for the House of Blues. You know, Filthy Immigrant did the House of Blues like at least
Yeah, I know you
12
guys were there,
to
Grip.
13, 14 times, something
Yeah.
like that. Because what ended up happening, we went up there. We did a Dr. Green Thumb show. TRT, I called up TRT. It was like, yo, I got this group, blah blah blah. Mind you, we were
Turner, rest in
we
peace.
were managed by Sindar. Shout out Sin. Shout out Mello, us family. Shout out B. That we were signed to Sin was our manager, but it was a Dr. Green Thumb party. So I called TRT. I was like, yo, man, I got this group. Can we come by? Whoa, whoa, whoa. He put us opening that. We rocked that show. When we came off stage, the dude from the House of Blues came up to Filthy, said, hey, man, you guys rock that. We like that. We have opening group. We have shows in here. We have no opening acts. Can you guys come through? Can we call? Are you guys local? Can we call you? So they would Busta Rhymes would come through. Hey, can you? We're up there. Anybody, Wu-Tang would come through. We're up there. We did the House of Blues so many times because of like at least 13 times.
Fire.
We done San Diego, Vegas, Chicago, all
Anaheim.
Anaheim. We've done all the whole circuit's House of Blues.
Fire.
All
That's
over.
dope.
But then I was also DJing for Chico and Coolwater at the time when High come down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nate Dogg.
Yeah, Nate Dogg.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in
That was a
so-
fire song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of, I think it's
was-
up in Nate Dogg's top
Oh yeah.
tracks.
Yeah.
Like, is it really?
Oh man.
Wow.
Rest in peace.
So I mean, you've been to a whole bunch of the Venice parties and all the clubs and the exclusive stuff we used to have popping. I remember. Do you remember? Did you ever go to Cafe Miafi's on Venice Beach? No, you didn't go to that one.
I don't think so.
Okay, so one time Nate Dogg pulled up. Yeah, bro. I mean, you've been, so you remember how it used to go. So Fred Rec was DJ. Oh wait, Salam Rec was DJing,
Yeah,
or was it
Salam.
Fred?
I don't know.
No, Fred Rec was DJing.
Fred
Rec was DJing. Nate Dogg pulled up, and we're all chilling. And my cousin was a super Nate Dogg fan. I mean, everyone's a Nate Dogg fan, but he's a super hardcore Nate Dogg fan. So he had just got out, and he's like, "Yo, Nate Dogg's here." Like, "Yo." And I'm over there like chilling with Fred Rec and shit, and he's like, "Yo, you think you can introduce me? Like, you think I could smoke a blunt with him?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let me go talk to him." Oh, "Yo, Nate, my cousin want to burn a blunt with you. You be down?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, cool. Yo, come here." Tell my cousin Habit pull up. He comes, pulls up. We just sit there and burn one with Nate Dogg. He makes his whole day, night, year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm burning one with Nate Dogg." But like that was one of those Venice. Speaking of Jay Turner, we
Rest in peace.
partied with Jay Turner at
We party often.
some Venice events.
We used to call it the Bubba Flat.
Yeah,
It was Tuesday nights, I think it was.
Tuesday
At
nights.
the Garden.
Yeah,
And
DJ Fluffy.
yeah, some nights B Real would go up there. And
Yeah.
DJ. I
Yep.
think Jay Turner was like back then was like now he DJs. for
DJ
real.
Revolution popped
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's Eka Mouse performed up there. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that was usually
Some
the
good
Tuesday
times.
night, the place to roll and smoke when you couldn't smoke in clubs back then.
Yeah.
That was the place where you can smoke and no one was tripping.
Out there. Yeah. Or you go to
You know
Kingston
how-
12. out
You know how
there.
Venice be like. Venice is chill.
If you were in Kingston 12, you could smoke too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some good vibes. But man, me and this dude, we reconnected. I want to say maybe year at the show, right? Wasn't it at the concert?
It was at a 420 concert last year.
It was, the event that was going down.
Kushstock.
Kushstock. It
Okay.
was at Kushstock.
And the project, it was also a combination of Ronfest.
Oh, when they connected.
Yeah. And he was up there for
yeah.
Bonfest. And
I was there.
up there for Kushstock.
Yeah, I was filming.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
up there with Lavender Boys, and he's up there. So we see each
Oh,
other.
you're with the Lavender Boys, the
I
weed
was in
company.
Filthy.
I
Yeah.
was right there with Anki from Kush Life.
Yeah.
I was in
Right-
the same
right there,
table with
right
you
there,
guys.
yeah.
I was standing next to you guys.
I was there all day.
Yeah, I was
All
standing
day.
right there with Anki and the skunk and all that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
The dude came up
skunk
and did magic and shit
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, I was
yeah.
right there, bro. I probably got you on film.
right by the tug of war.
Yeah, I was sitting right there with the big
ring.
ass, the big ass camera. Like I was filming all.
I was behind the counters.
Yeah,
You know,
I
standing
got
back
you on
there.
film
Yeah,
for
you
sure,
probably do.
1000%.
Yeah, you go back and look at the film now. You'd
Yeah.
be like, hey, you're right there. You know.
Backstage at the camera. You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
backstage, on stage. I was up there with I got drops from everybody. Everybody.
Because everybody was there. Yeah.
Everybody was there.
Everybody was there. So
That was
yeah,
one of them ones.
And then I saw this man. We
Yeah.
bump
Let's
into each
get
other.
together and do something.
Yeah.
He comes
Fire.
through, I thought he was just gonna come through, pull up a beat, and knock out a song. Cool, put it out, keep it moving. He comes through and we sat down and talked about what we were gonna do. And he showed up with beer, chips.
Like pizzas out there, like we're gonna sit down and do something here. You know, we're not gonna just
But before
we're gonna
we did
chop
that,
it up.
We chopped it up and had this whole, and we came up with the idea of like, yo, I got a gang of story songs on different albums, but I never did a whole album of all
Story
songs.
rhymes.
So I would like to do an all story album.
And I was loving it because I was missing story rhyme. Everything in hip hop right now is how hard I am, how much money I have, how many women I have. You know, it's all like that. And the average story rhyme, all the way down to Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos story rhyme. You know, I mean, that's a story rhyme. When you go
Yeah.
back and listen to that song, they don't even do those anymore. You know, it's like there's no children's story. There's nothing like
Prince
that.
Paul, Prince Among
Yeah,
Thieves.
you brought that up, right?
See,
Yep.
that's why our album.
Sticky Fingers.
So
Look,
yep.
the two people I brought up when I sat down with
that's
him, I
genius
said, "Do you
writing.
understand? I have always two of my
Yeah,
favorite
those
albums.
are the great albums,
two of my
bro.
favorite albums. Prince Among Thieves, and that first Sticky
the
Finger album was breaking through
the
it.
trials of something Johnson or whatever. Yeah.
Man,
Mine too, bro.
Movies, you can sit back. Movies
Oh,
on
you don't?
CDs.
Oh
Movies on CDs.
no, you have to listen to it from front to back because they're literally a movie on bro.
CD.
No, bro.
I
These
told
are
you,
two of
that's
the
why
most
I-
like
that's why we
when
did what
when
we
I
did.
talk about amazing writing hip hop and people don't like I don't like to have these conversations with people because they don't know these albums and if I tell them they're like oh yeah those are greatest
No.
albums yeah should have
Cool
it's like
Keith,
okay
Weapon World. Like, let's go
Welcome
there.
to
Let's
Weapon
go.
World.
Let's go there. Let's go there. I named Big Daddy Kane, Chubb Rock. Like, let's go there, man. I
Bro.
love that album.
yeah Breeze Everflow went crazy but that
So
Man,
this lucid, I ended up saying, yo, let's do what stories can be continuous or intertwined. I'm like dreams. Let's do the lucid dream sequence.
Yeah.
Where every dream entangles into the next.
into the
this is the one with the different ways you could go right
Yes, unlimited ways. I'm like, yo. So we talked about it before we even did the first song. We talked about, yo. And then I had this old project called, I don't want to say it, but I had an old project called where you basically choose your own adventure. And you
Yeah.
choose, like which track to go to that I started recording back in the days.
I remember.
I was like, yo, I could tie it into this, but let's take every dream and have it intertwined, and we can put it together like a map and make it all make sense, and I can meet myself and fuck up.
we could do anything.
yeah 'cause it's a
Basically,
dream
when we were talking about, it's like just go. What do you want? It doesn't matter. Go.
So we talked about all the ideas, and we picked out the first beat for the first song, but we said let's wait to pull it up because we'll write it together that day. And then we came up with the idea for the second song to be already, we knew we wanted it to be the zombie apocalypse song. We wanted to tie, I was like, let's make it something that people can relate to. So let's do The Last of Us, Walking Dead, and I Am Legend, Robert Neville, and let's tie it all together. I was talking lyrically about the story. He went back and took a sample
From I Am Legend, sample from Walking Dead, and the sample from the first. What was the first one?
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. Yeah.
and you tied them together
And then I tied them all together. So it starts with The Last of Us. So I took the sample, but then I built on it. And then The Walking Dead took the sample, then built on it. And then I Am Legend sample built on it.
So
It's all in one song. So first verse, second verse, third verse.
So the first day, we did the first song, Falling Awake.
Yeah.
And right after Falling Awake, we went straight in on the zombie song. And
Knocked it out.
knocked it
Like,
out, verse for verse.
took hours,
The
but
storyline of what
yeah.
it was, bounced ideas off of each other. This whole album was two heads are better than one.
Yeah.
It's us sitting in there bouncing off of each other.
no rhymes are pre-written. It's like we're sitting up,
punching
going in and making sure you like this, say this,
Put it all
hook
together
like
and
that.
having it make sense and having it go
In a map.
directions
Yeah.
and not limiting to it, and not just being in my own ego.
yeah
Stepping outside myself and be like, okay, let's put my ego aside. Let's create and bounce ideas off of each other and see what direction that's going to take.
and have you ever written with somebody like that before or
Ghost written, helping,
yeah but never really being helped like that
I never,
And it wasn't really a helping thing like that because,
sharing.
yeah
it's me giving ideas and go
and
with
he
it.
builds
Yeah,
upon it
go like
Yeah.
because I can't. I'm
like
not
you
an
should use
MC.
this word
Yeah,
because it's good word association and then you run off of that and like oh we can make it like this and
It reminds me of like going to the gym, you know what I'm saying? If you go to the gym, you just get your workout on, cool. But you go to the gym and you do sets, you work out your arms, you work out your buys. The next day you work out your triceps, you're doing like 3 different workouts and you're like pushing each other to lift that next, get you to that
challenging
next level. And that's what we were doing
Yeah.
with this project, is getting to that next level. And it was like, sometimes it was eye-opening, but like, oh shit, that's amazing, or that's genius. So that's
Yeah.
that's killer. And I was looking forward to every Monday when this dude
Dope.
would come through to see what we're gonna do.
So it's
next.
good chemistry off the rip.
Really good. I mean, what was so refreshing about it was if I would say something, he would be like, "Okay, let's try it," or he would say something, and I would say, "Okay, let's try it." Where you would have people when you're working with them, they have a way that they want it to go, so they get in their feelings.
Yeah, and
When
they don't
you-
want
when
to
you-
take direction.
Yeah, you're like, yo, but we could
Yeah.
do this, and they're like,
Some people
man, but I
aren't
see it
coachable.
only like this, and
Yeah.
neither one of us ever could only see it when we were always open to each other's visions.
Ideas.
Yeah,
That's fire.
Opening up
Yeah.
ideas, opening up lanes, and watching it evolve into something greater. So after we did this whole project, we started releasing single here, single there, and then we started saying, yo, man, we gotta get a couple of something different. And in between, we're like, let's hit up one of the homies, one of the dope MCs that you know, they'll do a dope feature, which comes across Micah. Nunn.
we ended up calling up Micah.
Of course.
You know.
Yeah.
But, so we get Micah, but Micah.
Now, mind you, let's set up the night the right way. We go pull up in the truck to go pick up Micah, and Micah, he's just expecting him.
I told him I was bringing the homie, but
He didn't realize.
he didn't catch it.
But
Yeah.
but we're rolling up and down. We can't find the house. Finally, we pull up to the house. He comes out and he's kind of like, and Jizzm jumps out and he's like, "Yeah, I better wait. Who's in the car? Who's that? Who's in the car?" And so he just doesn't know the situation. Finally, he's like, "Okay." He jumps in the car. We driving out. We listening to the music, and he was just, vibing.
Then I was telling him, this is the project we're working on. I let him hear what the direction it was going, and I let him know that we're bouncing our ideas off of each other, and we kind of pushing each other to,
Come with something new and
took it in. After
He
taking
ran
it
with
in,
it.
We got to the crib, and we pulled out like the drink, weed, drinks, and everything. We got the party started. And between getting the party started, I was thinking he's over here texting somebody. He's playing a couple of beats.
Yeah, he's over at his phone like.
Like, oh, what's the name of that beat? Flea? I think it was Flea Lord.
Yeah, it was. I had a Flea Lord acapella over it, so
Okay.
I named it
And
something like I said needs more Flea because I want him to be on top on it, So I want Flea on it. It needs Flea, And then so he was like, "Why'd you name it that?" And and he was like, "Fleas, All right, and he started he went back to
Just on like
yeah.
Fleas on
Yeah, he just hears fleas
Yeah.
and runs with it.
it just. And we're still thinking that he's over there texting somebody because he
And we're
just
still playing the beats and
Yeah.
pouring drinks, and we were just getting the vibe right. We just finished rolling a couple of blunts and not even lit yet. You know what I'm saying? Not even before the first blunt. Like he's all right, this is what I got. He went on for like about a good 12 bars, and I'm like, whoa, like in 5
like
blunts.
you that far in.
I was like, okay, now let me pull my hat out.
Let me start the session.
And mind you, we started on that beat, but then probably about 5 or 10 minutes in, I said, I think I got a different beat that would sound better for this situation. I brought out a different beat. He took that idea, just put it on that beat and kept going with it. So it wasn't even the Flea beat.
Yeah.
It was a whole different beat. But he just kept his writing going.
But you could hear that he would sound better on this one.
It was just something the way that it was all going down. So,
Dope.
The vibe was
That's a
right.
producer.
and then
The vibe was right
when we
over
did,
there.
it just
I could already tell this is gonna be one of the magical nights.
Yeah.
And that was some super heat, super fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Micah could do that.
And then he
Guy
was
is something special for
he was
sure.
like, yo, stop the verse right there. And he was like, why? Because that's the hook. What's the hook? The verse? And he was like, oh shit.
the last 8 bars of the verse. I don't
Yeah.
know why, but it felt like a hook.
Repeat it.
And I
done that.
said, stop right there. And he was like, but there's 8 more bars. And then he went off and did the other 8. And I was like, I know, I heard it, but that 8 right there, let's make that the hook. and he was like, man, I don't know, you know. He was just kind of,
Yeah, because it wasn't the
yeah,
plan.
it just didn't sound right, you know, in the moment.
Bridge and
And then so we went ahead and made that the hook, and then but I said, you know what songs don't have nowadays? I said, songs don't have bridges anymore. I said, why don't we put a bridge in the song? And he was like, yeah, let's do a bridge. And I said, but what if we did a bridge instead of it always being behind the hook? What if we do it before the hook?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, yeah, okay, so the bridge will come before the hook, and then the hook will come.
Like a pre-hook.
A pre-hook.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
then
love
we're
pre-hook.
trying to sit up and think about the pre-hook. We're playing the music over and over, and I was like, well, it sounds like da, 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 da. and Jizzm was like, and Biker was like, yeah, I think that's it, hold on. And I did it again, and it became the bridge of the song. And so that became the bridge. Yeah, I was sitting there, I was going back and forth, and I go, you know, it sounds like you got me itching and scratching, got me itching and scratching, got me itching and scratching. And I started doing that over and over, and Micah was like, that is catchy right there, man. Let's keep that. And then so that became the bridge.
So were you scratching the record?
And then no, I went because it was called that. I was thinking about Malcolm McLaren.
Yeah.
Malcolm McLaren, you know, all that scratch and making. So I added that as the scratch that's over it. So that's a little sample scratch that goes behind. You got me itching and scratching. Got me itching.
The energy and the elevation and it was just magic.
Yeah.
Magic in the room.
Dope.
You know, Mike is
Yeah.
genius.
I had a session with Micah, so I was recording with Cool Keith one time.
Oh, word.
So me and Keith are doing the track at No Name song spot in his studio.
Right.
So Keith dropped his verse. I'm recording my verse. All of a sudden, you know, he has the glass to see out on the outside. Micah Nine's face pops up. And I'm in the middle of rapping, bro. And I'm sitting there rapping, but he pops up with the, you know, when you get the stank face, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
He pops up. And I'm like, oh shit, like, get Micah's approval. But I'm still trying to keep going because I'm like in my shit, but I'm like at the same time, like, oh, I got Micah 9 feeling my bars right now.
Nice,
Keep this
nice.
going.
Yeah.
So I finish my verse, and he walks in. He's just like, "Yo, like that shit is fire!" Like, and I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bro, it's me." He's like, "What? Who's up? What's this? What is this?" I'm like, "Track me and Keith are working on." He's like, "So it's an open verse." Yeah, fool.
Exactly.
Fuck, we ain't telling Micah
exactly.
9 no. Get a
You know?
The fuck that's so much extra sauce just getting splashed now.
Yeah.
Like, yo, pause.
Yeah.
Yo, on the same track.
Man, you know,
Yeah, bruh. So that I know what you mean with the magic when the magic hit, because
Yeah.
he just ended up walking in after. You know, when he gets in his and he starts doing his swing and he starts getting his jazz
He gets his vocal
thing.
tone.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
Oh,
he started
yeah.
doing this jazz
Yeah.
thing, and you're like, oh, here goes Micah.
Yeah.
He's about to do the thing, and he's like,
Yeah. Yes.
you're just like, oh, here he goes.
You know, the
about to
next
happen.
instrument on the album. That's
Mike.
what I always said Micah is. Micah is the next instrument.
He's like a flute.
He's exactly like you got the flute, you got the clarinet, you
Yeah,
got
like
Micah.
a saxophone,
You know,
exactly.
Like he floats over the music just like an instrument. You know, and because it's
He
vocal
grew up
tones.
playing the sax, though, right? Micah,
I don't know. I can't really say exactly. I know he
which
grew up with
playing an
heavy
instrument.
jazz influences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he was always around the records and the music, and that's pays ahead.
Microphone, Mike.
In his styles. But I also know him and Joe used to have sessions with their instruments.
Instruments.
Yeah.
I can't recall who had a flute and who had a sax. I'm pretty sure
Joe.
had a sax. But I know they used to go on some crazy dope musical
Genius.
sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could say the magic was there. And I can't can't wait to have to make the next magic happen.
Yeah, we're about to set that up in the next
Another
couple of
one.
weeks. Yeah,
We're gonna knock out this video for this joint and get
Yeah.
another one in ASAP.
So this album's out though on all platforms right now.
The single's out.
The single?
It's called
we have
Itch.
yeah.
Bitch.
Jizzm My Definition of HardMoney featuring Micah 9.
Dope.
The single is out. Yep. The other single I got out right now is produced by Jason Jump. I want to shout this out real quick.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
engineered by Chris the Glove.
Ooh, wow.
Yes.
Shout outs to Chris the
So
Glove.
Jizzm My Definition and Jason Jump, engineered by Chris
Chris
the
the
Glove.
That's
Glove.
legendary.
Featuring.
Okay.
Chino Excel.
Yeah.
And right now,
Yeah.
that's my joint.
One of the GOAT lyricists of all times.
Looked at my
Yeah.
Spotify and I was like, yo,
Speaking of songs with Cool Keith, his
You know.
song with Cool Keith,
Chino Excel.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. The Shabba-Doo Conspiracy,
Yeah, thank you, Chino. You killed that shit. You murked that shit.
that's fire.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very much.
Love really engineered it so nice that I've had people say like, yo, that sounds
Yeah,
Amazing.
should be sounding.
yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, Chris the Glove is Chris the Glove.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
He was doing Death Row for a reason. He was doing Death Row for a reason. He really
He did
got
hike
that
him
magic
down.
touch.
He did hike him there.
Yeah,
You know. Like, it's,
that's what's up.
This year, I just want to mention that.
For sure.
This Nightmare album, I would wish you could hear it, man.
we got about 6 songs out on all platforms right now under
Already out.
Jizzm High Definition and HardMoney. We got
Okay.
6 songs out right
Two
now.
more to drop and the
Yeah.
actual full album, so you can hear it from back to back and get into the whole.
Get the
story.
whole rhythm.
Yeah.
Some crazy concepts of what we can do show wise with it. We can come up with a couple of new ones.
New ones tonight. Don't want to say it. It's gonna.
Yeah.
Don't have, we got
Ideas.
crazy ideas. Crazy ideas.
Cool ideas coming.
That's what's up. Something innovative.
Oh yeah, some next levels.
Nice.
Next level.
Just my definition of all money, man. We got some
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Let them know where to
Oh,
find
brick
you
and
guys
mortar. Brick and mortar.
brick and mortar. Yo, we got this joint dropping this weekend.
this weekend.
Called, it's not brick and mortar. It's called Commit the Mortar.
Oh, so you did.
Ran
Well,
Audible.
He committed and changed it.
And the Audible.
Because it was called brick and mortar. So we
Ah,
With Robert and Robert. on the
got you.
so it's
Didn't wanna confuse it.
commit the mortar. Yeah, commit to mortar.
Commit the mortar.
Got you.
Like not murder. Commit the murder.
Yeah,
Commit the
mortar.
Yeah, this is basically about being committed to the future of music.
Of hip
you know
hop.
what I'm saying?
Dope.
Committed to the youth.
Yeah.
You know, as well. It's one of those, people always ask me, like, yo, what would you say to the youth? Or how do you feel about the youth? Or what do you think about the youth hating? I'm like, I'm above hating. I love what the youth is doing
Yeah.
with music when it comes to ones that are actually real lyricists, like
Yeah.
Coast Contra, Razzcast dudes, and the rest of that crew murdering it. Benny the Butcher. I know you.
Oh yeah,
Conway, man, let's go there. Wrong street.
the young.
Yeah.
Generation, even the 30 years.
Oh,
olds, they're
God,
younger
like-
than me now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But out here, TF out here, 211 out here. I mean, everybody's ripping
Your
it.
38
Everybody's
Bash.
bringing it. All the younger generation
bring
bringing it.
intelligence, bring skill,
Yeah.
bring styles.
Yeah.
And the good thing is people, the younger generation are now coming around full circle for that. They're coming out. They're packing shows, selling out shows.
Yeah.
They're opening their minds. They're growing.
They're loving that boom bap again.
Yeah.
It's on its way back right now.
Yeah,
You can
shout outs
see
to
it
everybody
resurgence.
doing it.
So, like, if they're out
The whole Griselda,
Yeah.
SD Knack,
Oh, man.
38 Special.
The whole
Rock
Lord Mom,
Marciano.
all them, yeah. Oh, Rock Mark. That's
Know me?
the beginning,
Yeah,
The
I
shout
got to hang out with
Rock-
him, hanging
Rock
out with
Mark.
Cool Keith. We had us backstage. He was-
People don't know.
Yeah,
He was
beef.
spitting that gangster, the stuff that they spit now. That was Rock Marciano.
Yeah, he was going
He
crazy.
was on that.
He's still on
younger
it.
generations,
No, he
making
started-
these reparations right now.
Mm.
That's pretty much. It's just a good bus. Thank you over a dope beat produced by HardMoney.
Dope. Let them know where to find you guys and follow you and everything.
Jizzm High Def on all platforms. JIZZM HIGHDEF. Whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Threads, X, on all flexes is Jizzm High Def. HardMoney is.
It is Watch Hard Money, WATCHHARD MONEY. Watch HardMoney. No variations on the
spelling.
spelling, and that is all platforms.
Word. That's what's up. Thank you guys for coming through. Feel me? It was a dope interview.
Thank you for having us.
Shout outs to Studio 26 Productions. You know what it is, the home base. It's been another one, the pull up at Studio 26. Bang, bang.
Love.